take down the violence, to de-escalate. And that's exactly what we're working toward.
And back here at home, pro-Israel demonstrators gather in Times Square in support of the Jewish state. This comes one day after pro-Palestinian advocates gathered outside of the Israeli consulate. Tonight, Angie Gonzalez is live in Times Square with the very latest. Angie.
That's right, Cheryl. As you mentioned, the rally here, a counter-protest to the one that we saw yesterday. The one here, the difference being this one was stationary. The one that we attended with pro-Palestinian rally participants actually moved and ended up here in Times Square. Now, neither event was really organized by any specific group. In fact, the protest, several people known within the city's Jewish community actually spoke at the one held here, and some organizations like the Israeli American Council had representatives here. But then there were people just attending who took to the bullhorn to share their thoughts with the crowd. One woman actually wanted to explain what the situation there is like to the people here.
Every Israeli citizen has exactly 15 to 30 seconds once they hear the siren and run into shelter. We have an absolute obligation to defend ourselves.
And just across West 46th Street, Cheryl, a small group of counter-protesters, but not Palestinians or pro-Palestinian protesters. A group of Orthodox Jews who those at the other rally say are in the minority. In fact, the Anti-Defamation League says that they are actually a fringe group. They, however, said they felt compelled to come out today.
To show to the Palestinian people, to show to the world that what is unfortunately happening, taking place supposedly in our name, supposedly in the name of my religion. Unfortunately, the Jewish religion is being misused to justify crimes taking place.
And Cheryl, New York One actually traveled to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, a Palestinian area of that neighborhood, to get reaction to what is happening overseas. We actually spoke to a man whose family is from Palestine to get his take, and he said it means something to hear that there is support among some in the Jewish community for the people in Palestine.
It's a beautiful thing to see all different types of people, different types of belief, even Jews themselves, you know, standing by the Palestinian side. And again, it's just a really empowering feeling.
Now, members of that same Orthodox Jewish group holding a counter-protest here today marched with hundreds that took part in that pro-Palestine rally that took place yesterday. That rally, as we mentioned, began at the Israeli consulate, then traveled through the streets here to Times Square. Here is a little more of what those protesters had to say about the current conflict.
The Israeli Defense Forces are killing 16 civilians for every one IDF soldier killed. It is not a war. It is a genocide.
They're trying to get rid of Palestinians.
And Cheryl, while both rallies actually had an NYPD presence, it was very noticeable at the one that was held here. There were metal gates that were up, actually keeping people out of the area. They actually didn't have anything similar yesterday. That's because that group was actually moving. It seemed a little less organized yesterday, a little more impromptu. This more organized. It seemed the NYPD had more of a plan on how to make sure everybody stayed safe today. But everybody has since dispersed, and that's the very latest from Times Square. Cheryl?
Angie Gonzalez reporting live for us tonight. We turn next to the